So over the years, a lot of people have asked me what the process is for actually making a Misfile comic. And some of them even implied that they'd be willing to sit down and watch a video of it. So here goes. Okay, so this is step one. Got to open the Misfile script. I wrote the next couple scenes last night. Not going to show that because it's pretty boring. What I generally do, bring up the script, read through just before what I'm about to draw and just after what I'm about to draw so that I know where I came from and where I'm going with the story. Then I like to do what I call my 1 minute page. That's just run through here real quick, and it actually usually takes me a little more than a minute. Still call it my 1 minute page. And just do a quick sketch of exactly what I'm going to be drawing so that I know what the layout is when I move to the big page. Once I start on the actual page, I move everything over here to my desk. I've got my 1 minute page and a couple from the other day. When I do the actual page, I work on this lovely B4 comic paper, which seems to be getting more and more difficult for me to find online, but I still use it. And these regular old number 2 pencils I get from the grocery store. Don't know why I'm so picky about paper and not so picky about pencils, but that's just how it is. And then I start transferring everything over. I work one panel at a time, do the panel, draw the panel, shade the panel, and then move on. I used to do a whole page and then start shading, but that didn't really work for me anymore. This process works a little better for me. So that is what I do now. Okay, that's a fully penciled page, and you can't really tell from this image, I'm sure, but it is messy as hell. It is smudged. I've got marks all over it. So now I have to move on to the second part of the process, which is getting it onto the computer and cleaning the hell out of it. It took me about 6 years to find a scanner big enough to do these pages in one pass. I used to do them in 2 separate passes and then put them together in Photoshop, but I did finally find a scanner that was big enough to do it a whole page at once. And shortly thereafter I switched to Windows 7, and that scanner company never came out with a Windows 7 driver, so I actually have to do all of my scanning in Windows XP mode and then move it back into Windows 7 because that's where I have Photoshop. So here we go. First thing I do is resize it to proper 10 by 14 dimensions in 300 dpi. Then the first cleanup step is to raise the contrast. That gets rid of some of the little scuff marks, but I can't raise it too high or I will lose a lot of the detail of the picture. Next is the most time-consuming and irritating part. I actually blow the image up about 300 times and go in with a fine-tooth comb and select every little piece of dust or grain or stray mark and erase it by hand. At this point the cleanup's done and I can move ahead to actually working on the image again. First thing I usually do is add some textures, and then after that it's time to start going in and adding some backgrounds and screen tones. Then it is time to put the text in. Anybody just starting out, make sure you leave room for your text. It's mistake a lot of people make early on. Anyway, I lay down the text first before putting the bubbles, and then I craft the bubbles around them and add the little arrows to show who's speaking. And the last thing I do is fill in the bubbles and flatten the whole image up, save it to my computer, and resize it to make it appropriate for internet viewing. And after that, I upload it and hope that people read it. Anyway, hope you liked the video. Hope you read the comic.